Hello and welcome back to the Flexline Media coverage of the Discmania Garden City Open 2023. This is the round 1 back 9 coverage brought to you by Discmania. My name is Ashton Clark and I'm joined in the booth by Jeremy Brokenshire.
If we didn't mention on the front 9, this is the South Island Champs and it is a B-tier tournament.
Oh yeah, it's kind of an important one, eh? Major season, start a major season in New Zealand. So, the card from earlier, we got Wiel-Lake, he's on 3 down. Connor Mckinstry matching on 3 down.
Yourself, Ashton Clark, on even, and Seb Falconer having an awesome front 9 on neg 4.
Yeah, so overall as a card, it's a pretty good start. Myself a little bit slow off the line, but you know, it's all good.
Really good to see the feature card 1 and 4 boys on some coverage as well.
Cool, so hole 10 we've got a par 5. 271 metres and straight into a headwind really off the tee. So you've got OB left and right, a couple of Mando trees down at your approach shot, but relatively simple hole. I really like it.
Yeah, and don't forget that OB path long just behind the basket.
Of course. So off the tee, you've got a really wide fairway to hit with the OB left and right, but with the wind on the weekend, if you got a little bit too flat or a bit too much power on it, it was quite easy to turn one OB or skip left. So Ben flirting with that OB left and checks up just inside. He's got decent distance on that one.
Yeah, definitely quite a generous, nice wide golf fairway. But yeah, too much highs or too much turn, you're definitely OB and strokes are adding up quickly on this par 5. Not the longest par 5, but it's good to see some more par 5s in New Zealand disc golf. We don't really have too many from my experience.
Yeah, I enjoyed it on the weekend. It's a great hole to play. I think it baits you into throwing a longer drive than you really need to with just the expanse of the fairway. You can just throw 100, and you're there for a look at the basket, but who doesn't want to unload on a distance driver?
Especially a little bit of downhill off the tee. It just tempts you into crushing one as hard as you can.
Yeah, so Ben and I matching over there on the left. We'll be looking to throw something overstable around the first Mando tree. Ben looks like he's done just that.
Love hearing that snap on Ben's release as well. And that's an ideal position. Past that second Mando in the middle. Nice, stock, easy backhand approach shot.
Yeah, the effort 2 is great. Nothing in the way for a simple upshot.
You definitely want to swing this one wider than you think and stay well away from that Mando.
Also Seb following suit. Another overstable disc just to get around the corner. Anywhere between these two trees and you're really looking at a pretty simple upshot.
Nice and wide, nice and right in the middle.
So Connor kept his drive to the right a bit more, which is a bit more optimal if you're going for the 3, but I don't know if many people were attacking for the 3 on this hole this weekend. I heard of a couple in practice, but I don't think anyone got it on the round. So razor claw into the basket here, just a super overstable putter for the wind. A little bit of Annie out of the hand.
Whoa. Running it up.
Seb going for the forehand by the looks. Yep, so that's a link I think, so just a straight shot at the pin.
Nice control on the putter with the forehand too.
Slightly closer. He'll be able to tap in from there. Probably doesn't even need to let go of the disc. Ben just trying to one-up us, put it closer again.
Throwing lawn darts.
Yeah, so showing the hole playing relatively easy if you've got the distance to get there. Connor with the razor claw as well. And everyone in the bullseye for a birdie.
Yeah, really looking like another musket. Hole 10 averaging 4.75 for MPO, so coming in 0.25 under par.
This is another one when you're planning your holes you're really looking to take. There's not much danger unless you go OB off the tee. Seb with a powerful 3-metre putt. The chains catch it.
It's going to be a beautiful little star frame for our feature card here. Well done, boys. Moving on to hole 11, par 3, 95 metres. Pretty wide open hole, not a lot of hazard, just a tree on the left if you fade out early. The real tricky part about this hole is the green, with the basket being put on a nice little lump.
Yeah, I love this hole. If you come up anywhere around Circle's Edge, it's pretty much, well, you don't want to lay up, but it's probably the smart option with the roll away in every direction. So it really just rewards a good shot skipping onto the hill.
Yeah, and if you're not on the hill running the putt, you can definitely airball it to Circle's Edge for a very tricky comebacker.
Seb with a massive rip on, I think, what was the MD3? Looked like he put a lot on that one. Connor going with the MD3 as well.
Were you trying to throw a little bit of flex off the tee? That might be a bit too much flex from Connor.
Just clipped that branch, the only little one sticking out. I was just treating it like a straight shot, hoping for a bit of fade at the end with my MD3. Not as much fade as I was expecting with the wind, but I'm Circle's Edge, so that's all good. Connor looking to stick this one on the hill, I would assume.
Yeah, not a hole you really want to take bogey on.
Yeah, that's well done. We didn't see it roll because it was out of view, but yeah, there it is on the hill. So stepping up to this one, I felt confident to give it a run. Not sure why, but, you know.
After hole 6?
Yeah, there's no bunker next to this one, so give it a go.
Nice form out of Ben, straddling on the uneven ground as well.
Yeah, and that nearly spat back towards him.
Good birdie out of Ben.
Yep.
Oh,
Wee hug on the basket.
showing
Good
the basket
catch.
some love. I would be too. Nice. On the pole.
Yeah,
Good
so
par cleanup.
no punishment for the run this time.
Gonna see another power for me to putt out of Seb.
I'd say so.
I love Seb's putting style. So confident, so fast. Ouch.
Ooh, that's what can happen when you put that much pace on it, but at least he hit chains, eh? That would have gone about circle 3 if he'd missed.
Yeah.
Oh, Connor cleaning up his par there. That was a great upshot to stick the hill like that. And Seb with a drop in par. He'll be disappointed not to take that one with the nice score he's sitting on at 5 at the moment. So, hole 12, 75 metres. We've got another basket perched on the top of a hill, but this time we've got a few trees in the way. So, most people I saw going for a low driver, trying to skip up the hill. There were a few over the top lines as well, but I think most players going for this low option. Ben with a mutant. Not much ground play there, but he's put himself edge of circle.
I think I just noticed for the first time there's an OB golf green just to the left off the tee as well. I don't think I noticed that all weekend. Hopefully no one's ending up in there.
Yeah, you wouldn't hope to be in there. A bit of an early release if you do. So Seb puts himself quite far left, but he's at the top of the hill. He'll have a level putt.
Nice and low out of Connor, but yeah, there's a couple of areas of long grass just around the bottom of the hill.
Yeah, really trying to air it through the trees and hit the dead grass for the extra skip, I think.
Yeah. Oh, you're just going to split the gap.
Yeah, I'll be honest, it was a bit higher than I was intending, but
Worked out alright.
Yep.
Hit the line, it doesn't matter. Look at that. Flex sign, follow flight.
That one felt pretty good. Obviously, I'm a few strokes behind the boys, so looking to gain some ground.
Big putt out of Connor. Another tricky green, being on a pretty steep hill. I don't think the camera does it too much justice, but it's definitely a bit steeper than it looks on film.
Yeah, anything catching basket.
Oh,
yeah,
what?
That's an amazing putt from Connor. You can't really tell, but there's a pretty solid wind today as well. Quite gusty around the hills, so that's impressive stuff.
Huge putt.
Walks it in casually. Easy stuff. Seb not to be
So
big putted.
casual.
Another laser beam from Circle's Edge. Now I thought I was grabbing a stroke on the boys here, but obviously not. Can Ben match it for the star frame?
This is pretty severely uphill. He's got to really chuck this one high.
Yeah, it's a decent effort there. Got to put a lot of height on that loft putt to get it up there.
Nice stress-free birdie from yourself there. Nice drive.
Oh, Ben taking his par.
Moving on to hole 13. Par 3, 128 metres. Mando left and absolute land minefield of OB greens and bunkers and roller killers. But yeah, this hole's awesome. It's a pretty hard par 3. Little ravine just behind the basket. No real danger long if you can throw that far.
Yeah, so if you're playing it for par, there's a nice just chip shot to before the Mando, I think, but a lot of people have got that sort of distance on an Annie with a driver, so a lot of people going for it on the day over the trees, trying to flex a driver. I think the main miss was fading early, because this is one of the only real crush holes with a tailwind, so it was the odd one out, I think.
And a lot of drives off the tee I saw, fading out early with the nose up. I think that's the trickiest part about those big Sky Annies is getting the nose down on that angle. Yeah.
Everyone running up across the tee pad, trying to get that extra angle on it.
Tailwind.
Anything down there over the hazards and out of bounds is pretty stock, really.
As you can see, that little tailwind, definitely fading discs out early. Ben's got this one on a good angle, but perhaps a little high.
Yeah, so it's a similar shape to hole 8 on the front 9, but I think a lot of people were throwing a bit more stable because it was a more exposed hole at that part of the park. It might have been why everyone was fading out early. Connor just puts one under the basket for a simple par. Seb maybe with a half run, not sure, but he's parked for par. Got an outside look at this one. Didn't give it enough height.
Cheeky run, unlucky roll.
Yeah, not loving the little roll, but it doesn't go too far.
I thought we would have seen some more rollers on this hole. With that ravine right in front of the green, kind of theoretically should collect some rollers, but none from our feature card here. Did you contemplate the roller? Or?
I did think about it, but once I saw the bunkers and also the Mando tree down there, I thought, 128, you can get close enough with an ear shot. There were definitely a few rollers out there on the weekend, but probably not on that hole. So, hole 14, par 3, 110, super low ceiling. You can see the basket straight through the trees there, and you might see a few rollers that you were talking about on this one, Germ, I think, just because of the nature of the hole. Getting an ear shot between the trees and the ground out there is pretty tough. Seb looks like he's going for it with a massive hyzer angle, looking to skip through the trees, and he's done so quite well.
Interesting line there out of Seb.
So Connor looking at an ear shot as well, going ear bounce over the trees by the looks of it.
Yeah, that dead looking tree there right in the middle, that darker brown one is definitely the one you want to throw over if you're going for the ear shot. This has got a cut.
So I was trying to throw a cut roller, but obviously not that much cut, but in the middle of the fairway.
Ben is going for the low skip line.
Yeah, he makes it through. I think he'll be the closest of the bunch.
Yeah, with the power and the arm on this cut, I'm surprised I didn't see more people going over the tree.
Yeah, I found it quite hard to get enough lift on the disc with the low ceiling off the tee. I thought the roller was probably the most consistent option for me. If I hit it right, I'll be deep or pin high, and if not, I'm probably going to be where I am right there.
Maybe I just have some natural talent of always throwing nose up and getting lift.
Connor might have been given it a cheeky run with the skip there by the looks of it. Driver up shot, I like that. Sneaky run out of bend maybe, clipping a bit of ceiling.
Ooh, good.
And another powerful putt from Seb, just skimming the chains. So sitting at 6 down currently, and he's had a few putts drop off the basket that could have pushed him out to a pretty substantial lead at this point. So really good to see Seb playing well. Just a few unfortunate putts here and there.
Yeah, for sure. Ben and Connor not too far behind on Neg 5 as well. Good cleanup from yourself.
Yeah, just trying to hang on to the back of the pack. These boys are on a heater, so just trying to maintain the par streak.
Hole 15, par 3, 89 metres. Kind of a little dinky forehand flex hole or backhand turnover. OB golf green again in the middle, marked by those red flags, and maybe one long to the left as well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this hole as well. Something I like about the course was you're coming from a big booming drive into a technical sort of mid-range shot. There was a few changes like that throughout the course, so good to see the variety.
And that's a thing of beauty out of Connor. That's just stock MD3, straight, little fade, finish, pole. Beautiful.
Yep, attacking a lot of these holes out here. Players are throwing forehands on. Connor just lacing them with his backhand, getting all the replays. So instantly out of the hand there, knew that one was bad. Just a little misrelease, too much Annie. Ben going with a tactic here, looking for a little bit of a flex. Just catching trees, and he'll be mid-circle too. And I saw him do this in practice. Seb's going for a spike hyzer. I don't know if many people would have actually looked at that option with the distance on the hole and how straight the shot was.
I saw the line, but I thought you'd be throwing it too vertical, so it'd be hard to get the distance, but obviously not a problem for Seb.
A lot of people might have looked at it jokingly, but I did see him put it under the bucket in practice, so might as well go for it.
Nice touch out of Seb. Takes a lot of skill to get those really soft forehands accurate and not fluttery. So awesome to see that he's got that in his game.
Yeah, something I've noticed over the past year with Seb's game is he's really improved on the short stuff, which is massive because everyone knows he's got the distance, so it's great to see him working on his overall game.
Ooh. Not going to be happy about that one. At least it was high, I guess.
Yeah, it had a chance. Oh, Connor dropping in the birdie. Unfortunate bogey for Ben there. So, hole 16. 109 metres, and you've got a wall of trees in the way. This is one of the only righty hyzer bombs on the course, I think, and the basket's in an interesting location. You really want to push straight once you get through the trees, so it's a tough line to hit and park for two.
As we see Connor teeing off to the side of the tee pad here as well, it was a bit of a last minute decision by the TDs to allow teeing off 1 metre either side of the tee pad, because I believe those AstroTurf tee pads got a little bit slippery, so our players had the option.
Yeah, there was a lot of rain the night before, and I think some of them were just holding some water from the night previous, so it was a good decision. Safety for the players, keep everyone comfortable on the tee. Seb smashing a hyzer out. He might be going to go over the line of trees past the gap. Yep, there we go. Camera was thinking he was taking the short gap. And interesting line from Ben here.
Now what's Ben lining up
Once
here?
again, I saw him absolutely park this in practice. But the headwind on the hole has cut him over, and it's rolling.
Oh, no.
Still going.
Now we have a little interesting situation here with Ben's drive.
Yeah, so the disc is in the curb, and it might be touching some curb, but we'll get to that in a minute. Seb with a smooth forehand.
Another nice upshot there from Seb.
Looks
No
like
flutter
he'll be able
as
to
well.
handle that one.
A little bit of flutter out of you, but that doesn't matter because that's park for par.
I think honestly you play footpath and one from the right, just course original and from the string line. Three. What's that? Putt three or just three? From the string.
Also, we're just doing our own job for us right here. We'll listen to the cards chat about the decision. So, as you heard, he's playing a whole bunch of provisionals from where all of the potential OB lines could be.
And the issue here is it wasn't initially in the caddy book or delineated on the T sign where the OB line was. So, yeah, maybe a learning lesson for the course designers and TDs.
To be honest, it's not anywhere you'd expect a disc to go. It was an interesting line in the first place, and it was unfortunate to roll that far, but it's smart from Ben to play all of the possibilities out, because you never know what can happen once you get back to HQ.
Good putt out of Ben, and I believe he was given the par. He wasn't OB because it wasn't specified on the tee sign. Ethically, I don't know if I agree with that. If you're on an active roadway, I mean, I know you can't call yourself, but...
Yeah, well, if you don't ask, you don't receive.
There's been many times pro players on tour have questioned interesting rules, and really it comes down to card decision and TD decision at the end of the day. So I guess I got to take my hat off to Ben for knowing the rules.
Yep. And I don't want to overshadow a awesome birdie from Connor there. That's a tough one to get, and he's put himself in the circle and drained it.
And for 7 under, man, Connor's putting together a great round.
Yep, just clean, taking the birdies when they come.
See a nice little clean up for par from you. Tidy.
Yep. Steady as she goes. Lovely par streak.
Moving on to hole 17, par 4, 200 metres. I think this is the feature hole of the course. This
Definitely.
is beautiful. Playing down this nice row of trees. Mando about 72 metres off the tee to the right, and then OB flags all down the right side of the trees. So you really want to pipe one either straight down and keep it in the middle, or skip out to the left past the Mando and have a forehand approach.
Yeah, this is really the sort of golf I imagined when I heard South Islands at Hagley. Just big established rows of trees, beautiful fairways, and it was awesome to get a bit of a backup actually on the tee pad, because it was a lot of shade coming out of that 30 plus degree heat. So Connor sneaking early of the Mando there, he won't be stoked, and I've managed to get a lovely kick back to the centre.
I hope you went and hugged that tree, because that was a great kick.
Yeah, it was a tree after the Mando, so I wasn't missing, but centre fairway, can't complain.
Or was Seb done the same thing?
I think he's dropped before the Mando, so he'll have a chance to scramble from there. Ben with a smash down the centre. It's going to fade a bit too much to be in the middle, but another helpful kick. And he's pretty close to that tree, but at least he's looking at the main gap.
Surprised Seb had an angle here, but it's nice shot out of Seb.
Enormous flare skip off
Yeah.
the path there. Kind of unlucky, to be honest. He could have got a bit straighter ground play there. So Connor from the drop zone. I believe it's about 120, 130 from here, so it's still a fair effort to take your, what would it be, par from here?
Oh, he's done well to get it just outside a circle
Yep.
from the drop zone.
Pin high is impressive.
Crush. What are you throwing here, Ashton?
Same disc as the tee shot, just a cloud breaker. The new run of cloud breaker is a little bit straighter than the old ones, so really able to lace them down tunnels and stuff like that. So Ben with a similar look to what Seb had before, just trying to skip one back into the centre.
Patent pending shots, real tricky to get turned over.
Yeah, so there's an OB line all down the right hand side of the fairway, linked between the trees, but the left hand side is safe, so fading out there can come into your game plan and approach from outside of it like Seb has here.
Sit. No,
Unfortunate, another big skip off the dirt path there, and he's actually gone OB.
Yeah, and that dirt road down the middle of the hole can sometimes play in your favour and give you a good skip or a good slide, but when you're coming in on angles, you can, flare all over the place.
I think it was really helpful for the players who opted for the mid-range, just a laser mid-range, and then they get that extra 10 metre slide straight forwards.
We didn't see it too much from our card here, but if you do skip left of the fairway and have a forehand approach shot into the green, there's another really low ceiling, which is very, very difficult second shot.
So this was one of the harder holes out there on the day, I think coming in at second hardest. So the finish to this course is really tough. Staying clean, you're really just grabbing strokes on the field.
Yeah, hole 17 coming in at 0.58 over par, so definitely shown its teeth for round one.
So Connor and Seb slipping back one there, but still 4 and 6. Great scores to be at this point in the round. So hole 18, final hole, par 4, 198 metres. There's an OB path all the way up the fairway on the right, and at 140 metres you can see a line of flags, which is another OB and an island green. If you pass the 140 metre flag line off the tee or on any shot, you proceed to a drop zone, which is about circle 3's edge, I would say, and you have a look at the basket crossing OB. So it was an interesting rule, really. I don't think they expected many people to pass the OB line on the full, but I think the play was to really just go for it, and then you give yourself a birdie putt and no real chance of missing the island. So the headwind probably stopped a lot of people from passing that line, but there was no real punishment for going long off the tee.
Yeah, a bit of an interesting concept. I heard a bit of frustration out of players. I mean, there's not too many that can throw 140 metres consistently, but yeah, theoretically you could go 140 metres OB off the tee, proceed to the drop zone for basically a layup par. And if you're short, well, you're pretty much in prime position. So
I do think it's a great hole 18 though, because it's a bit of a swing hole. You can quite easily take a birdie and also easily take a 6 or a 7.
Yeah, it's huge out of Seaband. Oh wow.
Yeah, perfection.
That's 139.9 metres on the dot.
You wouldn't drop it in a better spot, really, would you? Ben not happy with that one out of the hand. He's going to come up short left. He'll be heading to the drop zone. So hanging one out wide, hoping to fade back into the edge of the island.
Nice, safe hyzer approach into the island there. It's pretty close though.
Yeah, couldn't really tell from where I was if it was in or out, but I just had to assume that the clap meant it was good.
Yeah, with that island being relatively small, it was kind of hard to tell back there whether you made it or not if you were close to the edge.
No question in that one. Connor's checked up nicely in the circle, and Seb looking to approach with the forehand from as close as you can possibly get to the green.
Hopefully a nice stock forehand, leaving him about 6 metres or so. Nice shot, Seb.
So here's a look at the drop zone from Ben. It's about, I'd say, edge of circle 3, maybe mid-circle 3. That's a pretty decent run from out there.
Man, that would be a sick birdie, going OB off the tee, drop zone for a 60-footer for birdie. One can dream.
Yeah, so I'll just be taking a par, putting myself as far away as possible from the basket in the circle. It's a solid putt out of Connor to finish on a 7 down for the round. It's a pretty hot pace.
Awesome round, Connor. Seb, big putt here. Nice and confident. Good finish. Birdie, 5 under.
Yeah, really consistent putting throughout the round from Seb. Even though he had a couple of spit outs here and there, he stuck to his guns and just blasted them in there. It's good to see. Ben finishing on a -3 and myself with a -2. So the card playing pretty well overall, I'd say, in the tough conditions. 30 degrees plus and a bit of wind out there, but enjoyable day overall.
Tied first, we have Connor with an awesome round and the local boy Jay Watkinson on 7 under, coming in at 1,011 rated.
And closely following them, we have Joseph Berry on 6, Ethan Stout, Sebastian Falconer on 5, and Maverick Robinson over from the States on a 4 under. Good to see him up there on the leaderboard.
Another few familiar faces sneaking in there as well.
Cool, thanks for joining us for round 1 of the Garden City Open, and we look forward to see you in round 2.